Let's start by animating the chopper title. What I'd like to do is have it fly in from the left. So I'm going to pull it off stage here. I'll pull it down just a little bit so it's down kind of in line with the bottom of my logo. And remember our settings from before. All I have to do is select it, go up to Insert, and choose Motion Tween. We've just created a motion tween and it has a start point. And now all we have to do is move our timeline down. Let's go to the end again. And I'll just grab that object and move it in. If you hold down Shift, you can move it in a straight line. And that way it won't be moving up and down at all. You can see that our new keyframe was made just like the last time. And if we move our playhead around, we can see that our text comes flying right on in. Now I'd like to animate the For logo next, but we're going to do something a little bit different. We can go ahead and click on it and pull it off the stage. But this time, instead of setting up the motion tween myself, I'm going to use a panel up here in the Windows pull-down menu called Motion Presets. Now, you're going to think I was holding out on you because this is a lot easier than what we did before. I'm first going to dock the panel over with my other panels, just so I can get a hold of it easier. And when we click on it and open it up, we can take a look at the default presets we have in here. We actually have a whole bunch of different pre-programmed animations that you can simply apply to any object on the stage. Now, I'm just going to pull a real simple one. I'm just going to do a fly in right. Now, we have our logo on the right-hand side of the stage, and it's selected, so all I have to do is click Apply. Let's see what we've got. Now, first of all, the preset has a fixed number of frames in it, so our animation's been shortened quite a bit. Let's move our playhead backwards so that we can find it. There's my For logo. You can see that it's coming right into position. And as we back off, you can see that it's already set up to fly right on in. It's even using some settings that we haven't even tried yet. We've got some transparency on this animation. What's nice about it, though, is that you can still modify it just like the other animations. For instance, I can stretch it back out to match the first animation that we had. I can even move my playhead to any of the keyframe locations and tuck things in just a little bit tighter. And we can make new keyframes wherever we wanted. Now let's take a look at what we've got. We've got both of our logo pieces kind of coming in and meeting each other in the middle here. I'd actually like both of those to move a little faster, so I'm just going to grab them and squish them down so that they're maybe about 20 frames long. And let's see what we've made so far. I'm just going to back up by choosing Control Rewind, and then we'll go and hit play. There you can see my logos kind of come in as the chopper's coming up. As you can see, using a motion preset gives me pretty much the same kind of animation that I would get if I built it myself. And since you can edit all of the settings and change it all around, you can easily use them as starting points for your animation. Now, all of our motion tweens can also be moved around in time as well. What I'd really like as a sequence for our animation is I'd like the chopper to start coming up and get into its hover mode and then have the logos come out. Well, we can do that just by grabbing the logo as is and moving it around in the timeline. You can see that the program automatically leaves behind a blank keyframe at the beginning because the logo's not going to be there, and we can still stretch and move the animation any direction we want. I can even resize it from the front end as well. Now we can see the keyframes in our chopper layer. I'm going to set it so the title starts moving right about this point where our chopper is leveled out. We'll do the same with the title by just grabbing it and moving it over as well. I'll scrub that back and forth and we'll see how that looks. Here comes my chopper For logo. And now the only problem is my logo is disappearing before the chopper goes off the stage. We can always move around our keyframes though to get the timing we want. So let's make a couple of adjustments. I'm just going to take both of these tweens and stretch them out to the end of the animation. Now, as usual, that moved all my keyframes around as well. But as we saw earlier, we can move keyframes individually if we just hold down the Command key on the Mac or the Control key on the PC when we select the keyframe. Now that I've got that keyframe selected, I'm just going to drag it down to its original position. Now, our tween still occupies the same amount of time. My logo parks, and it sits there for the rest of the animation. Now let's do the same thing for the other layer. Command click on the Mac, Control on the PC. Once you've got it selected, go ahead and grab a hold of it and just move it down with the other one. If we drag our playhead around to preview, we can see that the chopper comes up, our logo comes together, and then the logo stays there on the screen. Now just a couple more adjustments. I'd actually like the logo to come together and then the chopper to fly away. And you can see right there is the keyframe where my chopper seems to move up. So I'm just going to extend that tween just a little bit. You can see it moves that keyframe over, and maybe a little bit more. And now I've got it set up the way I want. The logo kind of comes in, the chopper comes up in the background and flies up. Now, the only thing I want to adjust is I'd like to have the chopper in front of the logo. We can do that pretty easily by just dragging both of these layers down below the chopper layer. I'll click on the channel layer first and shift click on the title layer, and with both of them selected, I'll just move them right down. There we can see our chopper is in front of both elements now.